The Federal and Chettinadu Public School jointly present Run for Health Karegudi Marathon 2025 on March 2. This event is co-presented by Global Mission Hospital and Research Institute, powered by Repco Home Finance, associate sponsor Sethu Bhaskara College.
Hello and welcome to Sports Buzz. This is a special edition on ICC Champions Trophy 2025, which will be held in Pakistan and Dubai from February 19th to March 9th. Joining us is BCCI's Cricket Advisory Committee member and former India batter and selector Jatin Paranjape. Thanks, Jatin, for talking to the Federal.
Happy to be here.
Jatin, my first question to you is Champions Trophy has returned after a gap of 8 years. Last edition was in 2017. Where does this 50-over tournament stand in terms of reliance among ICC tournaments?
I think, the very fact that it's coming back after 7 to 8 years adds a little bit of a little bit more equity to this tournament, because it was always thought about as a very, very important tournament, one which is sandwiched between two World Cups. So teams will want to win this desperately. There is no question about that. So multilateral tournaments like the Champions Trophy and the World Cup are treated in equal measure by the teams.
And looking at ICC tournaments, are we having too many ICC tournaments? Because this will be third year in a row that ICC tournament is being held. 2023 we had the 50-over World Cup, then last year T20 World Cup, and this year Champions Trophy, and again in June we'll have World Test Championship final.
Yeah, I think when you look at the calendar, it is crowded for sure. But I think it's crowded because of a lot of the bilateral series, basically. So I think the ICC, as the custodian of the game, always looks to commercialize, their intellectual property as much as possible, and that's what you're seeing happening right now. So the Test Championship also is a recent phenomenon aimed at commercializing an intellectual property. So I think now we've kind of reached the maximum in terms of what the window or the calendar will allow as well. But nonetheless, World Cup is a World Cup in any format. So the viewers are always engaged, and those numbers are increasing all the time.
And looking at the tournament Champions Trophy, only 8 teams are participating. The top 8, which finished top 8 after the 2023 World Cup. Who are your favorites? How do you look at the teams?
I think India is obviously a very, very strong side. So they're always my, let me say, they're always in my top 2 favorites. But for this tournament, the England result notwithstanding, I still feel England is a very, very dangerous side. They struggled in India because the wickets turned. I think a couple of tosses went against them as well. But they are a very, very dangerous side. So I think England, even Afghanistan is coming on leaps and bounds. Quietly, they go about doing their job without too much, hype around them. So for me, I'm really, really keen on seeing England on how they cope in this tournament.
And what about the hosts, Pakistan, always unpredictable side?
Always an unpredictable side, and that makes them even more dangerous. They are a side in transition with a younger captain now, and they're playing the first match today at home. In these tournaments, it's about how your first couple of games go. If you get into a good rhythm, then the team does really well. So if the Pakistani team gets into a good rhythm today, and the next game, they will be a dangerous side, because it's a side which plays on a lot of confidence, and if they win, they will be confident. So when it's just 8 teams grouped together tightly like this, even one bad hour or a couple of bad hours can put you out of the tournament. And that's the unpredictability which Pakistan has not been able to loosen itself from. And that's my only kind of question mark against them, that will they be able to play any consistent cricket? England, on the other hand, are a team which will play consistent cricket. India will play consistent cricket. You can't write Australia off, even though they had a couple of injuries. These multilateral tournaments seem to bring out the best in Australia. So all in all, I think it's a tournament which has not been hyped such a lot, but I think it's going to be one hell of a tournament, basically.
How do you look at the Indian team? Will Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli be under pressure? Recently, we saw Rohit coming back to form a bit after that blazing century against England. What are your thoughts on Rohit and Virat's future?
I think one thing which a lot of people are not taking into consideration is that the wickets in Dubai will be fantastic to bat on. So they will be like roads, when you have a wicket like the one in Dubai, you can't ask for anything better to get back into form. So I certainly I feel that Rohit will continue his kind of brand of batting which he showed us in the 2023 World Cup at home, and he will go blazing after the opposition bowlers. And Virat will kind of come into the middle and stabilize the batting order a little bit. So there's a lot to look forward to, but India will need to be careful when they are batting first, because they will have to bargain for the fact that they don't have Jasprit Bumrah to
Right.
bowl those impactful overs. So they will always be mindful that they need to get 40 or 50 more than what they would have got if Bumrah was playing.
Right. I was about to ask about Bumrah's absence. In Bumrah's absence, the replacement is Harshit Rana. He's also quick. So how do you look at the composition? Like, and there's also a lot of criticism about five spinners in the side, including all rounders. So
Yeah.
do you agree with the selector's call, or India could have added a little bit more pacemen?
No, I think the let's not forget that Dubai will be a flat track to bat on. It will be extremely hot. So three back-to-back games will be a lot for the Pacers as well. But I think the selection committee has come up with a good mix. They've got a settled batting order. I don't think India will tweak around too much with that batting order. And the only area where India will kind of experiment a little bit is with the third spinner, or even if they want to go into a game with with four spinners, for example. So think about a situation where Mohammad Shami, Arshdeep Singh, and Hardik Pandya become the three seamers, and you have Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep, and Varun Chakravarti playing. Or say Washington,
Right.
Akshar, Jadeja, and Varun Chakravarti. So I think the selectors have been smart. They're carrying that one extra spinner to give them a little bit of experimentation window in this tournament. I think they've got it right, the selectors.
And Will, I would like to draw your attention to the venue, Dubai. You spoke a lot. As we know, Pakistan. For Pakistan, it's like a home ground or second home ground, I must say, because they play a lot of matches in
Yeah,
Dubai. Will
yeah,
that
yeah.
tilt the advantage towards Pakistan when the big match happens, India versus Pakistan on February 23rd?
I think there will be a lot of Indian voices in that stadium as well. But yes, it's. I think it will be a crackerjack of a game, especially the last 3 or 4 times that we've played Pakistan. It's been even Stevens, but that India-Pakistan atmosphere will be terrific. I think there'll be a lot of Pakistani support through that migrant population, and a lot of support for India. I believe the rates for all the hospitality packages have already gone through the roof, so there will be a well-heeled corporate travelers from India as well. So all in all, it should be a great game of cricket. I think the toss will be crucial, and the way for Pakistan, the way they play Varun Chakravarti, if he plays, or the way they play Varun Chakravarti or Kuldeep Yadav will be critical for them. I think they will be able to handle the Indian pace attack, barring the first couple of overs from Arshdeep, which will swing. But I think the Pakistani team will have to be judicious in the way they look after how they handle Varun Chakravarti.
Will he be Varun Chakravarti? Just spoke about him. Will he be the X factor for India in this tournament? Is with his mystery bag of tricks and Kuldeep as well.
I would play Varun Chakravarti ahead of Kuldeep,
Okay.
because the world has not seen enough of him. Pakistan certainly has not seen any of him. And England has seen a little bit of him, and they haven't liked what they've seen at all. And so I would play him because I would certainly play him in the Pakistan game. Let me put it that way. So if
Right.
India won't be surprised if he doesn't play against Bangladesh, because India will be pretty confident against Bangladesh. They might play Kuldeep against Bangladesh and maybe Varun against Pakistan for sure, and then maybe judiciously even decide to leave him out against New Zealand and keep him as a surprise package for the semi-final as well. Because if India wins those two games, then they will be into the semi-final. So it's going to be interesting. All these things are, all these calls are pretty much the captain's calls. So it's a piece of intuition which kind of drives these calls. But I will be watching very very carefully. What 11 India play against Bangladesh.
Right, Jatin, last couple of questions. Will this be the last ICC tournament for this trio of Kohli, Rohit, and Jadeja? As we know, they announced their retirements from the T20 ice after the World Cup win last year. So, will this be the last ICC tournament? Because 2027 is a little far away for the next T50 or World Cup.
That's a tough one to answer. I think when you talk about Jadeja and Kohli, they certainly have the bodies which will last them till 27, 28 maybe. Rohit probably, if he gets back into shape and if he still has the hunger, he could also last. But look, these are all high performance athletes. They are people who are extremely proud of their achievements, and rightly so. So nobody wants to bow out unless there is a hugely compelling reason. I don't think we think about these things too much. Replacing a Virat Kohli and a Rohit Sharma is also not going to be easy at
Right.
all. We often say, oh, we've got three great teams. No, we've got three teams which are very very promising teams. But stats like what a Jadeja or a Virat Kohli or a Rohit Sharma have built in their career takes a lot more than just talent. It takes a kind of tenacity. It takes so many things to make such great careers. So if you ask me, they will play for at least another year and then see how their bodies go. And then if they feel that they're in good shape, they might want to give 27 a shot as well.
Right. Jatin, one last question. Pakistan is hosting an ICC event after 29 years almost. 1996 was the last time.
Yeah.
What is at stake for them to prove the world that other cricket nations can come and play regularly despite so many security issues?
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and everything crossed that there is no security incident at all, because that will be such a shame for the great cricketing talent that Pakistan has. I have been to Pakistan a couple of times as a cricketer. I've visited more than 10 cities in Pakistan, and it's blown me away that the kind of talent they have. So I just hope that the tournament stays incident free, and if it stays incident free, then I think there could be a relook at many nations wanting to visit Pakistan, because Pakistan definitely deserve to be central on the map of world cricket, and they should not be marginalized because of security. So just keeping my fingers crossed.
The Federal and Chettinadu Public School jointly present Run for Health Karegudi Marathon 2025 on March 2. This event is co-presented by Global Mission Hospital and Research Institute, powered by Repco Home Finance, associate sponsor Sedhu Bhaskara College.